Something very strange is happening in Texas. Besides millions of illegal immigrants pouring across the border, the state is dealing with the largest fires in Texas state history. Right now, going on as we speak.
As crews fight on, the largest fire in state history remains only 15% contained. The Smokehouse Creek fire torching more than 1 million acres, hundreds of homes, and leaving at least 2 people dead. While the cause remains under investigation,
we still have no idea what's going on. And that accounts for a number of fires across Texas that we still have no idea, that are still under investigation 2 and 3 years later. So many years later, still under investigation. Really? Okay, some of them they've nailed down as accidental, but many of them are still wide open. We don't know what's causing these fires. Why, if something were to explode like a piece of equipment, it would blow outward? Why are things melted inward? Why are temperatures so stinking hot that street signs have melted? Aluminum has melted. Street signs and steel. What's going on here? People dying in their homes. They can't get out. Roads being closed because they can't escape. Many are asking why now, even during a snowstorm. I mean, this footage you're seeing here on your screen, it's snowing. This is overnight. Snow, wildfires in Texas. This is all happening, and it's hurting cattle ranchers the hardest. Over 88% of all beef production comes from the Panhandle in Texas. These fires could forever change the beef industry in the United States.
I have witnessed and observed some extraordinary damage in our state. It could be caused by hurricanes or tornadoes, and frequently when you see the aftermath of that damage, there's some semblance of a structure that is still there. When you look at the damages that have occurred here, it's just gone, completely gone. Nothing left but ashes on the ground.
Texas Panhandle wildfires have burned more than 1 million acres as fire crews continue to battle those flames. A new fire popped up in Hutchinson County just last night. People who live in the small town of Sanford were forced to leave their homes, but they are now back this midday.
As fire crews make slow progress containing the largest wildfire in Texas history, tonight they are now battling a brand new fire in the Panhandle. Late this afternoon, a new wildfire emerged. The Roughneck Fire has forced the evacuation of the small town of Sanford. So far, it has burned about 100 acres and is about 15% contained.
Little calf here, I don't know if he's going to be all right. His feet are burned really bad.
No.
A lot of them have been blinded by it. It burned their eyelashes, eyelids, everything, and just burned all the hair off of them. Their feet are coming off, their hooves, they're bloody. It burned their udders, and you know, even if they survive it, more than likely they're going to get pneumonia, they're going to get sick, they're going to die. And we've already had to put some down. It's better than letting them suffer and just die. It's extremely hard to see them suffering. I mean, they're just, like I say, I've raised some of them since they were babies, you know. It's just hard.
More than 85% of cattle in the state are raised in the Panhandle, where the Fields Mailer Ranch is located. State officials called the impact to cattle and crops catastrophic.
People, of course, drawing very strong comparisons to what happened in Maui, as you know, perhaps because we don't get answers from our government. And we start to look at comparisons here in the past year to what happened here. Total neighborhoods perfectly fine, yet adjacent to ones that aren't. Look at these satellite photos from these before and after images here. Total neighborhoods just decimated, scorched to the ground, and with trees still standing. Multiple fires have.
Anything
blue?
Anything blue survive?
Oh, you're reading my mind.
Painted the cattle blue.
DEWs, directed energy weapons. We don't know. We don't have an official response yet.
Massive fire at a Texas dairy farm that killed 18,000 cows last Tuesday. Fire officials say a piece of equipment used at the farm is to blame.
It's like a broken record at this point because there's more, seems like every week. Listen.
Now, the fire did break out just before 5:30 this evening on Montdale Road in Scott Township. The meat packing plant was fully involved, and explosions were heard as flames took over the structure.
Yeah, last year was all the chickens and the eggs.
Yeah.
Another food processing plant fire happened yesterday in Montebello, California. California has experienced its share of devastating processing plant fires. Back in April, a massive fire at Salinas, California broke out in the key agricultural region, where tens of thousands were forced to evacuate their homes.
Some internet sleuths are doing the heavy lifting for us, so we wanted to put this on the map on the screen from Z-Maps. This shows the alarming rate of fires at manufacturing plants, grocery stores, food pantries, farms, and grain factories. It's likely that over 100 of these fires have taken place just this year.
So President Biden, of course, raised a lot of eyebrows, and I certainly was curious when he said this about the roofs of homes, and he's specifically talking about Texas and these wildfires.
If you fly over these areas that are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because it had the right roof on it. And anyway, since I took office, FEMA's provided Texas alone.
He knows he went off script for a moment, you know?
Yeah.
And he looked over and then he went back to his teleprompter, you know? So what roof is right for a fire? What roof is correct for a fire in Texas right now that could have prevented this? Well, a lot of people...
Blue roof, Alex?
Yeah, maybe a blue roof. Of course, many people have said directed energy weapons were to blame for this. Of course, I have no evidence of that. But is President Biden hinting at that when he said that these people's roofs were fine, or that, you know, they had the right type of roof and that's why their house survived? So what exactly are they? Because a lot of people say, no, there's no such thing as DEWs. They don't exist. Well, yeah, they do. All you need to do is go to Northrop Grumman's own website. You read all about directed energy weapons that they've developed with the help of the Pentagon. The high energy laser solutions defending our nation at sea, on land, and in the air. The U.S. Navy even made a video about how these directed energy weapons work. Here's successfully firing the solid test laser. And of course, people were sharing online the other night those videos, those images of the green lasers coming from outer space, saying, is this what they saw?
Thanks to our largest research and development budget in the department's history, we are advancing critical technologies to maintain our military edge in areas such as hypersonic weapons, directed energy, and autonomous systems.
Well, yes, directed energy weapons do exist. Were they used in this situation? Who's to say? Many people online are saying, well, clearly now that Texas has stood its ground against illegal immigration, is going to stop the flow of illegal migrants across the border and push back against what Democrats want, that this is a stick in it to them. So they're launching directed energy weapons. Again, I have no proof of that whatsoever. But when the president makes comments about a roof and they have the right types of roof, that certainly raises eyebrows. Go ahead, Dave.
What is the blue roof? Is that just because it refracts the laser?
Laser weapons can be programmed for different wavelengths. There was something blue they didn't want to burn.
Now head down Front Street. I had heard that people were jumping into the ocean over here in the coming up on Waikiki Brewing and Waikiki Brewing.
He might have burned down in the fire.